It's time to get you in the know for Saturday, May 31st, the month coming to a close. In a moment, we're going to be looking ahead into the summer forecast, but take a look in recent days, the nation's capital, some good rainfall, and Ottawa may be seeing some rain. In fact, parts of eastern Canada will still be getting some wet weather this weekend, especially Quebec and Atlantic Canada. And sometimes those Atlantic Canada rainfalls followed up by a spectacular rainbow, little faint signs of a double rainbow there. Sun low on the horizon in Red Deer, and of course for the prairies, it's been the heat. And we'll be talking about that as well, and the wildfire situation we've been covering throughout the day here. Now, Kelowna, we see here the cloudy skies, and yeah, we could see a bit more of this as we look into the weekend. But of course, with the month of May coming to a close, we kind of reflect on the month that was. And as we bring in meteorologist Kevin MacKay to get into our summer forecast, Kevin, let's first take a look back at the month that was, because speaking of summer, some summer-like temperatures were felt in some parts of the country.
Especially for the latter half of May, the biggest anomaly certainly in the prairies. In fact, the three prairie provinces, the only part of the country that actually tilted above normal. It's been a slow go getting the warmth into eastern Canada. Even BC took a bit of a step back, but things are changing for the next 3 months. June, July, August, those are the summer months, and it all starts with the heat that's going to develop in the Central Plains. We're going to be looking at a pretty good chance of a heat dome developing in the Central Plains, which should nudge up to the southern prairies. Now, the question is how far north and how far west will the dominant heat hold? Now, in BC, better chance of this onshore flow along the coast holding. So if you're wanting the heat, better chance towards Alberta and the Rockies rather than the coastal mountains. Now, the heat dome, this might be bringing back memories from 2021 when we had the historic heat from Arizona to Alberta. It all happens when we get the kind of a stacked pattern, a stagnant ridge stacked on top of each other, and that compresses the air, it heats it, and like a lid on the top of a pot, it's going to find a weak point, and that pressure is going to get out, and around the edge of the pot, the dome, that is where we're looking at the ring of fire thunderstorms. So when we look at the precipitation outlook for the west, yes, it's going to be dry underneath the ridge, but along the top edge, that narrow line of green, where is that going to set up for some storms to hopefully sprinkle evenly throughout the summer months?
Yeah, Kevin, so taking a look now, transitioning to the east, we can see a couple variables there, right? And we mentioned some of the heat. Looks like the summer may have yet in store for the west. Already saw a bit of that in spring. When we take a look at the east and get a bit more granular, what comes to mind here temperature-wise? Well,
it's looking like we're heading in the right direction for Ontario if you're wanting the warmth. When you have the heat dome on the other side of the Great Lakes, you are going to get rounds of certainly temperatures above 30, but you're also going to be a little more humid. So we'll look at the moisture in a second, but first, with the fires already going in northern Ontario and the prairies, when we do get that flow coming along the top side of the heat dome, we're going to be seeing probably some more impressive rounds of smoke getting into eastern Canada. Now, with the wetter spring we've had in parts and those storms coming along the top side of the heat dome, we could be looking at a wetter pattern. It's kind of a positive feedback loop for the east.